You have tried so many times to be consistent with your workouts, with your routines, with your study, with your job, with your exams, whatever it is in life, but you have failed miserably. You do few things for some time, then there is a break, then you again try to resume. There is a bit of guilt, then you again try to resume. And trust me, I have been there. It was a huge mess before I sorted everything. Today I want to share some of the things that I did, some of the things that has helped me, with a hope that it will help you as well. So what are we waiting for? Without further ado, let's begin. Before moving to the strategies and the solution part, let me tell you a little bit about the root cause. Why are we not consistent? Because unless we understand that, no way we are going to move forward. So there is this thing about consistency that you will never fail. If it's a 100-day streak, then consistency would mean 100-day streak completely. Okay. And it's a good goal to have. But one thing we need to realize is that what is perfection and what is consistency? These two things we need to separate. There is a pressure before just starting any goal that you have to do it for X number of days at a stretch without any kind of break. And this pressure is the one that is responsible for breaking the consistency. And we'll see in the future part of the video how we are going to deal with that. So for now, I just want to make you aware that there is no something called as 100%. You can give your 100%, but still, what is perfectionism? Our attitude of keeping things as it is. If someone has never done a workout, the fact that that person lifts a dumbbell on the day is a victory by itself, okay? And there is no need of any kind of 100% consistency to even understand that it's a victory. So let's separate two things and we will see how to separate these two things, consistency and perfectionism. But I wanted just to share and put things in perspective. Whenever there are too many things, okay, we don't understand that it's important to choose your battles. Whenever I try to start a habit, if there were 2-3 habits, then I just could not finish. Something or the other used to lag off. I used to try to go sugar free, then I used to try to, with respect to health and fitness, I used to try to go gluten free, and just as an experiment. But whenever I clubbed things together, that always resulted in a failure for me. Recently, I've started a sugar detox where for 30 days, I'm not having sugar. It's been 10 days. So far, things have been going strong. Maybe I should do a video on that. But it has been going strong because this month I picked just one thing. Maybe somewhere, if you're not consistent, you are working on too many things and that is causing an overwhelm. You may think that your brain is not getting overwhelmed, but subconsciously there is some kind of stress which is put, which you are not aware of, but it is already existing. The battle started is half won, okay. And it is so true. Sometimes it is not that you are lazy or procrastinating, you are afraid of what the result of the task would be. Many of the times I see some students who will set an alarm at 5 o'clock, maybe they are not able to get up. They wake up at 8 o'clock and whole day there is that guilt that they should have woken up at 5 o'clock, when in fact even if you wake up at 8 o'clock, your whole day is in front of you. So what is most important is, if there is any kind of resistance, then break it down into small steps and start with 1 minute. There is a reason why the 10th standard textbooks are not given to a first-year-old, because you have just started your simpler journey, your simpler formula, and then in the end those things will come. I remember in my 10th standard we had something called as riders. Okay, I don't know if you are aware of it. Like, these are problems where the solution is there, but the path you have to carve out, and I could never get my hands on it. Even for my boards, I think I had left those questions. So whenever the normal syllabus is getting covered, then those riders used to be there, because we are moving from simple to complex. Then why, when it comes to consistency, when it comes to your goals, you are doing it opposite. If there is any particular goal that you are working on and you seem stuck, you are not able to move forward, break it down. When you are moving to the next step, you make sure that you are moving to the next step and not next to next step. If you have subscribed to this channel, then by now you know that I am a huge believer of Vipassana meditation, and one of that component is body scan. Okay, looking for sensations. So what I mean by body scan is that you sit in a place, calm yourself, move from top to bottom and just observe. You are neither controlling your breath, you are not doing anything, you are not doing any kind of action, you are just observing. Now, how this is relevant to consistency? To have consistency, first you need to be in present. If the mind is always anxious, then you won't be able to stay in present. So this practice helps you center yourself, ground yourself, further enhance your ability to be consistent. The worst mistake that you can do when trying to form consistency is feeling guilty. And I get it because I have been there. I used to feel so guilty for not doing few things because we always set our standards too high. But one thing to realize is that this guilt which is there, that itself is the main driver of self-sabotage. So what I mean by self-sabotage is that, say suppose you are on a diet, you are doing everything consistently, but suddenly there is some change, whatever mood change or anything, and you revert back to your unhealthy lifestyle. So this is called as self-sabotage, where you are driving your own failure. Okay, and there are several subconscious reasons for that, and for that I'll make a separate video. I've seen some people who follow everything to the T and still they have guilt. So this could be because of some subconscious things that you need to deal with or anything. If there is a slip, what you have to do is just bounce back to your routine and you are on track. Just because you have slipped one time does not mean that you are not consistent. Okay, it's a false myth that consistency is 100% action oriented behavior. There are so many motivational tools, audio and videos. These can really boost your self-esteem. These can really boost your motivation levels when taken in the correct proportion. There was a time in my life when I used to always listen to all this, but then there was no action. This motivational videos and audios are not a substitute for action. Okay? Motivation and action go hand in hand, and most of the time if you are taking the right action, that itself will become the motivation. Did you try to project the troubles? And when I mean project the troubles, what do I mean by that? If you are on a goal, there will be days when you will not feel like doing it. There will be days when some other circumstances will come. Have you kind of prepared for it? Okay. That is the question, because this applies to all the goals and all the things that you undertake. Like yesterday only I went out for lunch, and if you are in Goa, you know our love for fish curry rice. So that is what we have. Even if we go out for lunch, we are happy with that only. Obviously, any meal will have a dessert component with it. Before the waiter could even keep the plate, I just asked him to remove this sweet which is there, and I took it out of my sight. These are small things, but these can affect the way you are consistent and you show up with your success. One thing that people often neglect is having an accountability partner. You are doing something with someone, okay, whether it is group or your partner or anybody. There is some kind of motivation that you get just by sitting in that group, just by doing it in a group. There are several days whenever I do my Vipassana, I just cannot focus. But one session of group sitting that I attend at the end of the week, that one session I attend and I get charged up and my focus remains good for a long amount of time. So that is the power of accountability, of having to do something in a group, or if not in a group, there should be some kind of system where your progress gets seen. In the world of psychology, there is something called as paralysis by analysis. And I have been victim of this. Whenever in my PhD I used to start an experiment, there was so much thought and so many things that I used to think that if this happens, if I don't get this, if this happens. What we don't realize is that we are solving problems which have not even occurred. Like there could be something that you start and you can get suggestions on the way. There could be something that the result itself indicates that you don't have to take that route, you have to take this route. So there are so many things that can occur once you start the journey. When I was starting the sugar-free thing also, my first intention was, what if I don't keep it for my entire life? But the truth is, I don't have to maintain it for the entire life. This experiment is for 30 days. One thing is that whenever you start something, if you are starting something on day 0 and you are starting something on day 1, you are two different people. Your consciousness changes, your thinking patterns change, and your clarity of mind changes. When you start at 0, you feel that these problems are there. These problems may not be there at all when you move to other consciousness. Creating a system and automating your work, be it for any task. If you have started something, you are doing something. Many years back when I couldn't wake up early, so what I used to do was, I used to tell a friend of mine to call me in the morning and wake me up. And now it has become such a habit that I don't even need an alarm. Okay, before the alarm rings, I can wake up and I realize that this would be the time, and 99% of the time that is the time that the watch shows. So if you are doing anything for 30 days, then having a kind of a reminder system or something that has a system component or digital component, whether it is offline, online, whatever. Like, there are two types of goals, okay? And this I have learned from Ali Abdaal, the most productivity guru that we have in this YouTube space. Everyone who is into mindset and productivity have to follow their channel. According to him, the goals are of two types, and let me explain it. Input goals and output goals. Now, say suppose I have this channel. My target is to get 1000 subscribers. That will be my output goal, because that is the end result that I'm doing. If you consider this output goal, your job as a person does not get satisfied. How many videos does it require to reach 2000 subscribers? What is the algorithm switch that is required to reach that point? That is still uncertain. Okay? Now today people may subscribe and then tomorrow they may unsubscribe. So my goal is totally dependent on what other people are doing. So input goal means that every week I have to publish 2 videos on Thursdays and on Sundays. This is the schedule for my channel. Now this helps me put my focus towards my actions rather than the end result that is there. So these are some of the things that I wanted to share with you with the hope that this helps you. And if you have any suggestions, then let me know in the comments. Till the next video.